Order with the Pledge of the United States of America. Okay, thank you all for being here tonight. We'll start with personal appearances. Are there any personal appearances? I'll take a moment to sign in here. My name is Beth Feltner. I'm talking to the mic. My name is Beth Feltner, for those of you who don't know me. Tonight I'm here to visit with you a little bit about the Yes for Minot Park citizens that we're forming. What we put together and what I'd like to talk to you guys about tonight is a framework for how a community-led effort will be organized leading to the election. I want to start by acknowledging the importance of roles here. So, of course, the Park District's role is to educate, inform, and provide factual information to the public. Our advocacy and campaign activity will be led by an independent committee. That's what I'm here to represent today. So we are planning a formal public launch of Yes for Minot Parks towards the end of this month, likely with a press conference and official press release. The exact timing is still being coordinated as we confirm with committee leadership on their availability and have the right people leading it off, right talking points ready to go. A public announcement to us is important to establish early visibility and show that there's a lot of community support behind this effort for the vote in June. Also, as this is a parks campaign, we're hoping a couple more weeks will let the weather cooperate a little bit more so we can have that press conference outside. In the meantime, social media and other communication efforts are underway and we'll start to build awareness starting this week. This will introduce the Yes for Minot Parks initiative, have quotes from community members and organizations in support with the core message of Minot Parks are a regional asset. This change in funding reflects who uses them and their value to the community. April and May will be busy with the Yes for Parks effort, engaging with service clubs, youth sports, Minot Parks user groups, employers, and other community meetings. We also know that the parks are planning to host multiple open houses to invite the public into Minot Parks facilities to learn more about how they operate, as well as the vote at hand. And we intend to support and participate where appropriate to share our information and encourage community engagement throughout the spring. The goal of that committee and that engagement is to create and support multiple opportunities to learn and ask questions. And then our goal is also to be there to convince and encourage a yes vote in June. In the final weeks, end of May and into June, the focus will be to ensure that the citizens of Minot understand the initiative, know when, where, and how to vote, feel informed in their decision. Yes for Minot Parks is focusing on three core ideas: regional use. Minot Parks and their facilities serve people from across the region. I particularly like talking about that one as a Ray kid. I'd spent already many hours in the Minot Auditorium by the time I graduated high school. Fair funding, the funding structure should reflect that regional use. Sustainability. This change ensures long-term support for these assets. So you're going to see a lot of us at community meetings and presentations, through social media, mostly Facebook, and eventually through yard signs and information outs. As I'm presenting to the park board, a natural question that comes up is, how can a park board member engage with the Yes for Minot Parks committee? Of course, you guys have your legal counsel and your rules and bylaws, but in our view, the most impactful thing you can do in your official role is to make sure people understand the proposal clearly and have opportunities to ask questions. And there are questions about park budget, planning, roles and responsibilities. Questions that have answers, please feel free to engage and offer correct information. And if we can support in any way, please let us know. If you choose to engage beyond that, it needs to be done in your personal capacity, avoiding any overlap, of course, between responsibilities and the advocacy. I just want to close by saying thank you for your service and the time you dedicate to this committee, and thank you for bringing this vote back. The committee is formed of individuals who believe that that the vote will be yes, and that with 2 steps and a grassroots effort that vote passes in June. The work that you do to support Minot Parks and the system is incredibly important. It doesn't go unnoticed. I'm personally excited about the opportunity in front of us, As a citizen of Minot who pays my property taxes and buys lots of things in Minot, I'm excited. We make sure that we put our tax dollars to use with family and constantly in the parks, making sure we get our value and are excited to see the future. I think there's a strong path here to make sure our parks continue to serve this community and the region well into the future. We'll continue to refine this approach and keep you informed as things take shape. As always, because we're working in step with whatever efforts the Park District has with Ellie and her staff, we will keep them informed, understanding that their role is educational and our role is advocacy. I appreciate the conversation tonight, the opportunity to speak, the chance to walk through this, although not in too great of detail at this point. With that, and feel free.
Okay, if there are no other personal appearances, we're going to move on to the approval of the February 17th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Further discussion? Favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And approval of the bills in the amount of $1,192,149.27.
I'd move approval of the bills for that amount.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Call the roll.
Update. Hammer.
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Kirkhammer.
Yes. And approval of the salaries in the amount of $46,854.
Second.
Further discussion? Call the roll.
Update. Hammer.
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Kirkhammer.
Yes. And financial.
I don't have anything to add to it, but I take any questions.
All right, we'll move on to department reports. Jared.
Park Board President, Commissioners, I have a couple of project updates. First one is on the Corbett property demo at 1108 and 1112 East Burdick. Again, in my report, I talked about notes on asbestos was found in a couple spots in the property. Before we can do the demo work, there needs to be some abatement of the asbestos. Currently, right now, ROLAC is working on getting some more quotes on the asbestos abatement. We have one quote for $45,000 right now, for double what we were demo the property. So we're just holding off until he can try to find some better quotes. Again, the goal would still be to have those that property demoed before summer baseball. I'll just keep updated as move along. If you know any asbestos contractors, please. We will get some different. The other one was for the Corbett scoreboard. Again, it's still on schedule. The steel delivery will be the end of next week for the video board. We're going to try to have a meeting March 30 or 31 on site. Contractor and hope to schedule the work that first week. Weather permitting, we're still on schedule for our mid to late April commissioning of that project. Those are my two updates. I'll answer any questions. I'll be back up for a new.
Questions? Thank you.
Okay.
Marketing, Ashley.
Hello. The only thing I really have to add is guide is officially off to the print weeks. And then I am going to really hone partnerships and sponsorships here in the next couple. We are getting ready for the questions.
Thank you. And golf course, Steve.
Really nothing to add. People are getting anxious with the nice weather. It's going to do a little bit of a roller coaster for the next couple of weeks, but But next weekend, I'm going to Carrington. We're having a statewide meeting to discuss the future of golf in North Dakota, to make sure it stays strong and touch bases with the East and the West, and just make sure that any issues we have with golf courses, we can iron them out and keep people playing golf.
Any questions?
Lost the state tournament to Carrington. Did that surprise you, or?
Yes, it did surprise me a lot. I was shocked.
Okay, Cami.
The only other thing I'd like to add is we'll probably try to do the volunteer days with the golf teams again before we open for the season. But other than that, I'll take any questions.
Okay, Logan.
Nothing really to add, just we're hoping for warmer weather so that people will want to come out to the zoo and we can take advantage of the nicer weather getting ready for the spring, summer. But I can answer any questions that you guys may have.
Thank you. Mesa, Bob.
I don't think I have anything other than what my bullet points show, except there was 1/3 from the bottom. Pepsi North bathrooms, they should be done in a few weeks. The only update I have on that is the plumbers replaced the pipe. The walls are back in. The contractors did a phenomenal job, safely, quickly, and well done. The painters were supposed to start Monday, but I think they got called out on something, so they've not been there this week. Once that's done and dries, they'll come back in and reinstall the toilets and urinals and partitions and do a test run. And probably won't be ready, obviously, for this weekend's Toro games, but we'll give it a trial run, hopefully April 3rd and 4th, be their final regular season. Be open. But other than that, ice show's coming up and winding up winter season. So any questions I can answer them. Update I have.
Thank you. And Eric and Shannon are both gone, so we will move to.
Nothing.
Thank you. And recreation, Tom.
We just finished up the tournament season with the high school basketball tournaments this past Saturday. On to getting ready to get outside for fast pitch softball. That's about it.
Question? Okay, thank you. Excuse me. And moving on to new business. The first item is the Discovery Center.
Ellen has for Matthew if you get a mouse or if you want Callan to go through, you just let him know.
Hey, I've got a clicker if you want to install that. I can just tell. Hi, everyone. Do I need to sign in?
Nope.
Okay.
You're good.
Perfect.
We know where to find you.
Excellent. I'm Matt. I'm at the Discovery Center. And I'm really excited to be here and kind of give you a rundown of how 2025 looked and where we're going in 2026, 2027, 2028, and so forth down the line. You have questions? Okay, first up, this is how we looked for 2025 when it comes to attendance. We had a grand total of 56,734 visitors, 637 under one, about 29,000 children, 23,000 adults, 850 seniors, and our EBT program through all. When it comes to our memberships, we had just under 650 memberships in our family program. Family Plus had 430. We had 300 military passes and almost 200 military plus passes. Had 141 grandparent passes for a grand total of 1,700 total members. whole bunch of donors, sponsors throughout the course of the year. Mad thanks to everyone who participated and keep our operations rolling. Cannot thank them enough. When it comes to exploration, we had 80 field trips come to our facility. We had 7 schools and daycares come to visit us as well, for a grand total of about 2,184 total. When it comes to our outreach efforts, we went and visited 43 different classrooms. We hosted 22 STEAM activity fairs, where we take some of our exhibits out into these schools and we let them sit and play around with our exhibits. And then when it comes to our community events, we visited 21 of them. We also opened up our 13th gallery. This is our Magic Pathway. It is an ADA compliant internal gallery that is full of musical instruments that are all accessible throughout the year, as long as you don't want to slip on the ice. But Myron and Shirley Thompson and their family, very generous. Extremely grateful for. We had 13 camps and classes over the course of the year. Lots of great participation. We're really all the stuff that's coming out of our. Our first annual gala was last August. We had 157 participants. We auctioned off 34 items and ended up generating just over $30,000 in revenue. Forward to 2026, going even bigger. Moving on to our current projects. We are currently working on some collaborative exhibits throughout the community. We have been in contact with the Railroad Museum, the Air Museum. We're looking at opportunities to find different ways of encouraging our visitors to go visit other places around Minot. City pass of some kind, trying to find the logistics to get a shared admission program going. Minot purchase a singular pass and have access to Discovery Center, Railroad facilities. We're currently working with the directors around town. We're currently at the logistics, and when that program, our target audience for that will be military families, grandparents visiting town, passing through tournaments. So we're really looking forward to getting that up and running. Educational programs. We are working on cross-training some of our discovery guides, our floor staff, so that they can help take some of the relief from our education department so we can get that up and running even bigger and better than it already is. One of the things that we're doing in conjunction with that is we're portable planetarium that will be school groups for kind of whoever wants to rent it out from us. We're also in communications with some of the science teachers at the middle school. We can figure out a good way in order to increase some revenue. Last but not least, when it comes to our current projects, we are currently updating some of our software, so our CRM system, and then some of our exhibit systems have had some software issues. Either replacing that software or finding. Unfortunately, developers for a couple of our exhibits passed away, and getting those. If you come and visit us and you see some of our exhibits are down, we're working on it as quick as we can. Moving on to our future plans. We are currently, over the course of the next couple of years, we're going to be doing some case studies to see if there is a possibility and a need to expand the building out. We would love to have some space to add some traveling exhibits, some specialty exhibits that could act as a revenue source. We're also looking at the possibility of a cafe, installing some dining areas for families to come visit, have some food, and then keep playing instead of having to go home and opportunity. So we are doing some case studies over the next couple of years. We're hoping kind of our 7 to 10 year plan will increase some square footage and additional revenue sources coming in. That was that. Any questions? Kind of a speedy version.
I noticed you revenue. How do you feel? I mean,
2025 was really turbulent for us. We had an executive director, he resigned. We had an interim director. We had a brand new director who had not come from the nonprofit field. So it took me some time in 2025 getting up and running. I feel much more optimistic about 20. I think there's a lot of room for improvement and some really good plans for both short term and long.
Anyone?
back, I mean, families, young families. First thing came to us was, got to see. I think up there, who's up, lots of different idea. Got people here 2 days, 3 days.
One of the things that we definitely don't want to do is fund the other attractions. Don't want the railroad museum, want the air museum. One's going to visit. We want to encourage our visitors so that we can build Minot as a community instead of just focusing on that. That's not going to work for us.
As a president.
That actually happened.
That actually happened. It was perfect. It was along with grandkids. I just think that was.
Yeah.
Showcase the offer something like that.
That was due to a very generous donation from the Maggie Foundation. Really great. The drone show will be back at the end of May. We're sad that we missed one show, but more.
You appreciate the. Next item of new business is the bond resolution. Will be. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So the bond that we took out. Project. That bond to basically allow, if we needed to build a new building for the filter housing, had the funds available, and could really call them and pay it off early and save on it. We didn't need to do that, and our window to exercise that early option closes in May, and so our bond attorney and advisors put it in front of us now to make a decision. We really don't have a decision. We can't really use the money for anything. Essentially, sit on the money and just paying the extra interest, or pay it now, save about almost 100. The motion to approve that, and then I'll work with our bond attorney to get that taken care of in May.
I'd make a motion to do that. Pay it down early.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there further discussion?
That dollar amount that we have to pay then?
It'll be $200,000.
But over the life, we're going to save 113.
Yes.
Further discussion? Okay, call the roll.
Hubda?
Yeah.
Hammer?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Or camera.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Corbett paving project.
Board President Commissioners, three things here, asking for board approval on. Take them one at a time. Corbett Field parking lot. Again, working with Ackerman Esfold on our paving of that parking lot that's needed. Early estimate was approximately $450,000. It'll take care of the area in that black box, basically all the way along the streets and our current property on the west side. At some point, we'll look to see what we want to do at a later. So I guess what I'm asking for, they're finishing up specifications and all that. Asking to move forward with the bid process. That
I'll second.
Or further discussion?
Did we budget for this in this year?
Commissioner Hammer, these were off the additional capital budget.
December.
Yep.
It was.
Okay.
That's a separate project.
Any other? Okay, it's been moved and seconded to move forward with the bid process. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
The same thing is for with Cameron Courts project. That's station and lighting. Looking to wall padding, dividers. Again, they're working on final site data gathered on Monday. I'm just asking for people to move that to the bids is done. Get it out before the next. And when that is done, we'll bring back. Just that.
Yeah, I'd move to put the Cameron project out for bid.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next is the giraffe canopy project.
Okay, this one is related to MI7J giraffe boardwalk feeding station. This is the canopy on top of the feeding station. It was an alternate item for the public bid for giraffe boardwalk feeding platform that was bid out through the Service River Joint Board. Rolac was the low bidder on the boardwalk at approximately $1.3 million, which Service River Joint Board approved on February 5th. And the canopy was an alternate bid that came back at $310,600. That we would be responsible for the construction cost of the because that is considered a betterment, not part of a replacement. That project. Again, all the responsibilities are laid out in the MOU, Memo of Understanding, Minot Park District, Service Joint Board. Ryan Ackerman, Pete, and staff work together. Currently with that, Dr. Logan is working on to secure a donor for this project. Some reason, if he doesn't have a donor secured when payments are due, we do have funds in the foundation for this donor, which would be able to cover the costs of this project until a donor is secured. Construction wouldn't be approximately July. Boardwalk. What I'm asking for is the approval of the alternate public bid for $310,600. Responsibilities are laid out in the memo of in the survey. Any questions on turn it over? That's a lot.
I'll make a motion to approve the canopy project in the dollar amount of $310,600.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there further discussion?
So is the canopy project all of that, like the decking and everything.
No, just top.
It's just the top. So just
Yep.
that top is $310,000.
The boardwalk itself is 1.3. If this is approved, it'll give us more opportunities for rentals revenue.
Oh no, I know. I was just like, my gosh.
And you
Does it compliment you as you walk by it?
Gives you a
Could add
dollar.
some
Gives you a
signage
dollar
to
every
it.
time you walk underneath it.
Thatch material.
Dead plants.
There's more to the structure than
What I'm hearing is that Dr. Logan would not be undone.
but yes, at this time, their current funding we have foundation. Don't get a donor. It'll come at a zero cost to the Minot Park.
Just to answer you guys' questions, the thatching is an artificial thatching, very similar to what we had over top the lemur exhibits. This one is just more themed, so it's almost like bristles of a broom, and it's all fire retardant, and it has about like 50-year warranty on that thatching through the company. Underneath that canopy, like Jared stated, we'll have power for rentals, as well as we have fans and other opportunities to make that a rental space.
So Logan, if this is not approved, that'll just be an open walkway with an open area.
Yep. Yes, sir. This will be kind of a statement piece. You can obviously see that from Burdick and so forth, and I do feel confident that I will be able to get that money by July.
How large? Do you know how large that area?
Large enough for a party.
Don't have the square footage in front of us.
Okay. I'm sorry. Can you? What's the motion?
I would just say that it'd be to approve that alternate for 310,000.
Okay. Is there any further discussion on that?
So will this be open? Like, if I go to the zoo, can I go out there, or is it be reserved?
Yes. Go into the current traffic complaints building, go to the draft feeding station, look over to your right, there's doors that lead to where right now, they will lead to that. So you'll be able to see drafts inside and outside. Shoulder seat. That time. But you have to empty traffic complaint building.
It's not reserved, it's open to the public.
It is.
One thing important to note on this vote is we'll need your approval of the dollar amount and then approval to sign the. So we'll need a.
Yep. Okay. Okay. I will call for a vote. Grant motion. 10,006. Go ahead.
Hubda? Hammer?
Yes.
Olson?
You betcha.
Schmidt?
Yes.
For camera.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to ask if you accept the MOU written by our.
I'll second.
Okay. Is there further discussion?
So what is the memo of understanding? In a Cliff
It
Note
lays
version.
out how this was not our project,
Just for the canopy.
the canopy,
Okay.
not the other,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
just for the cost of construction.
Correct fashion.
So this is just for you to sign it.
Yeah.
Yep,
Just
we're just
saying we can
authorizing
sign,
the
right?
signature. Okay. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion on it? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Anything else, Jerry?
No.
Thank you. Is there any other new business? Okay, we'll move to old business. We're looking for an update on the MI7.
Evening, as is customary. We are so light from as we're flying kind of you know, largely things are they're primarily work 8 wells activity that you well water from the river into this direction. And the second structure, pump station, foundation coming up out of the ground, forming up and getting, and one step additional activity, plumbing in the water gets from the river into the dead loop, from the dead loop. If there's additional questions, making sure that the park is pickleball, that rust and rock. Here in phase MI7, you know, largely pensions. We've been kind of coordinating a road miniature. You know, largely around the bend here, you're not going to see a couple of months. Are in the process of some water rat. Bill, thank you, the bison, not rats. Saying on the north side of the river here, you'll see demo work. Over there. That I'm probably bored. You know, text updates, a lot of this stuff. Probably the one other addition. But we've got a plan in place. Access. Phasing plan.
Thanks. Thanks. I'm Ron Rutlick with Hearing is phase one. Well, I'll back up a little. At the entrance to there's been a lot of work to install the utility. Park. There's a lot of the preparatory utilities that's been done already. One thing that hasn't been done is the culvert, and that process. It'll actually take water. Pump station. Phase one of that, we have phase one start at the end section of contractor now is have the ability so that they're going to start right at that start it right here, and they're going to pass. So you see that in phase one, that's phase one of the box culvert. So during that time, out the traffic, they're going to have to flag this, correct the people. They're going to be at work this area roughly. So that will last about during the pickleball, the early pick that they'll flagged around. They will have access. And once that's done, then we'll put the public pause there. Is there any?
So right now the park is closed. Can't go walk around. So when's the date of the park opening?
Date of the park opening. Yeah.
Good.
That's whether.
Sure. Or 10 we open. Or 5th.
Fifth. Yeah.
5th is the full date opening. Okay.
Moral of the story is that people will always be able to get there. They're through the detour or right.
Yes, and that's
yep.
Full open. Ellen is. Oh, I'm sorry.
Once the backfill happens in the pump station, that will allow more space for park activities. Is that correct? Like, is that okay? But if it's backfilled, there will be more room. Okay. When does the backfill scheduled to happen?
Backfills.
Okay.
Plan right now is actually backfill. Call it of the have that 4 week. That process coincidentally backfilling probably mid-May. That side. Ultimately, prevents it. Come back.
Is the idea that parking will be able, it's not on this map, but like on the, you got the pickleball parking, you've got the pickleball, and then there's more parking right there, right? That's going to be where the public will park to use the facility, right? And then this road is how they will get out.
There is going to be areas still that could be. This area that
Yep.
And then ultimate
area around the pickleball, the roadway, the red area there. Oh, weather and everything. Estimate all that being done, pump house, everything back to normal.
back to north. Not this.
We'll have this road.
That's why
We get closer to that. I mean, are we thinking we're going to start to promote that, right? To the citizens that, hey, this is going to be open. As long as the pump part works, our part. And here's how you get there.
Correct. Yep. We wanted to get through our meeting today, knowing you guys are here. Start putting out because we have to start hiring lifeguards at this time of year
No,
and
for
things
sure.
like that. That information out there. I think it's going to be interesting to work through all of the dynamics that we have, but I think our goal as park staff and stuff, we have that those pickleball courts are open and that open. We know there's parts that are going to have to grow in, and all of those are our two biggest on our plate. And safe marked, so young kids aren't confused by where they.
pretty safe.
The like pathway for that going to be there going to be signage that clearly marks like where I have a young.
So, one way. Sometimes that's a little good, so
The only access to the pool park, right? Like that closed. Go through the
all schedule
perfect situation. The detour thing is only used by people who are going to use pickleball because that will open. Whether all works out, other road gets put in, the detour is gone, it's all there by June.
That road only open for the time
The culvert stuff is going.
This will be.
How quickly are we gonna, maybe someone said it, I'm sorry, but the pickleball. I mean, if it's in the 60s for a week here, all across the state, pickleball nets are going up. Are
If
we,
it's 60 degrees on Friday, pickleball will be.
Yeah, no, I know.
So,
Yeah.
yep,
Okay.
we'll work on the best that we can.
I think that's all that they would ask, so
Yep.
that's good.
Guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, next item of old business is the WeLink shelter.
President Commissioners, couple things. The draft work by Ken is about Dr. Logan. Decent size. Referring to the pickleball nets, again, our plan typically is about April 1. Look at the weather because we don't early melt the hair and all that. So our goal is to, look about April, start getting weather dependent. Okay, last item on old business for me, D-Link shelter. We were at Ackerman Esvold last Friday. We opened the bids. There were 6 submissions for that. DLC was the low bidder at $199,900. Work to begin September 20th. Have it all fully completed by D-Link's opening 7. This project will be fully reimbursed by Minot Junior Golf. At this point, I'm asking for approval to move.
There's the canopy.
Is it bigger than 800 square feet?
I think it's probably about 800 square feet. I'm going to say right now.
I'm sorry I'm hanging on this, but it's just, I mean, that's. Do old golf clubs.
Yeah, I'm asking for approval to move forward with this project.
I'll second it.
For further discussion?
Getting a heck of a deal, Erica.
Hubda.
Yes.
Hammer.
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Berghammer.
Yeah. Thank you. Is there any other old business? Okay, we will move on to approval of the alcohol permit. There's just one list. Succulent.
Second.
Your discussion? Favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
All right, biggest thing I've had going on, sales tax presentations. We're averaging about 2 to 3 a week. Those will just ramp up before the vote on June 9th. We did host Leadership North Dakota at the Roosevelt Park Zoo on March 11th. We were able to take around 25 individuals that came from across the state, discussed the 2011 flood, resiliency, rebuilding, and planning for the future. Dr. Logan, Dr. Ann, and I were able to attend that. Ann Olson was been on staff during the flood, so she's a wealth of information. We really appreciate her coming back. But it's always nice to bring people from that around the state to our area and be able to show off the zoo, show what our future goals are. So that was a nice afternoon. So thank you guys for all the time you put into that. talked about this already, but Roosevelt Park pool release and information out to the public. So we will all work with Ashley and we'll start getting that information out there. Marketing and recreation staff are working on a great summer of events. Programming is now open for registration, so we have that going. And Ashley has been in Jane, our new coordinator, recreation coordinator, along with Bailey, have been making calls for sponsors. I'm very pleasantly surprised at the response that we've got for summer sponsorships. Skills is going to work with us for our scholarship program. So really good things ahead for the summer of 2026. We'll be having an NDRPA member meeting in May in Hazen, and I'll be joining 2 other members and discussing sales tax. Hazen is one of them, and then Williston as well. And then Callan, if you can pull up those renderings. So this is the Shields Complex Playground that we had talked about, approved last month. We're finalizing some of the colors and the schemes and everything else. So there's at the Shields Complex. So we're excited to almost be the point where we're gonna put this out with a press release along with announcing our 2 or 3 actually big donors on this project. So that will be coming out here in the next couple weeks as well. And then it is, well, budget season never really ends, just ask Callan and Jared and the rest of our department. But we are starting to look at 2026 budget, and we'll be getting some dates and coordinating with you guys so we can just get that on the calendar and be able to work backwards on that project. And then last, but certainly not least, we have our game changer for February. So please join me in congratulating Shannon Paul, even though she couldn't be here tonight. She is actually in Bismarck representing the Minot Park District on some exciting activities. But Shannon's coworkers say she goes above and beyond, making sure everything is exceptional, from designing the flower beds to ordering ball field and supplies. Shannon ensures everything is complete and in order. She has an upbeat attitude and is always a joy to be around. So congratulations to Shannon, even though she couldn't be here tonight. And thank you for being a game changer for the Minot Park District and our entire community. So with that, I take any you guys may have.
I know, should know this, but what is the timeline
for the playground?
Yeah.
So we would like to get through our bigger tournaments. Our crew has to go in, but to make sure we can get most of our tournaments in there, we have a lot of activity. Fall of 2020.
Great, thank you.
Things, just a comment on the so well organized. That's for far the best. That playground, little girls, 3 small playgrounds over to the drive to one that is tell you what, to keep running. Found hundreds of this is
I just have one thing. Saturday night, I was out and about a little bit. Got into a conversation with some elderly people from Ray that were here for the auditorium and clean it was and how was the bathrooms. Hats off to it.
First off, Rustin, thank you for being here. And Brian, I've heard a lot about the pool and access and wanting to be open. We definitely, obviously, have it open. So thanks for the work that's being done. I know it'll go well. So thanks for that, and just looking forward to an early spring, hopefully. Get people out using the facilities. So thanks, everyone.
Good. Thank
So
So moved.
Second.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? right, we will call the appearances information meeting. Okay, we will.
So moved.
I'll second.
Say aye. Opposed? Unless there is any other business, foundation? It.
I'd move approval to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?